my name is Beck and welcome to a very quick little video about series that I would love to start this year, because in the past I've made videos about series that I'd like to continue, but in this one I just really want to start a whole bunch of new series. So the series that I've already got on my TBR are quaking a little bit because I don't really need to start any new series, but here I am. So the first book on this list is Magic Bites by Ilona Andrews, and this is the first book I think in the Kate Daniels series. It's an urban fantasy, it's about werewolves, that's all I know. It's been recommended to me and I'm just really eager to jump on board with this because I've seen a lot of people adoring this book and I really want to adore it as well. And it's also not that long, it's got fairly big writing. I think that I could get on board with this. It's also like, it's as big as my head, it's tiny. So I think that I could read this quite feasibly in, less than a week. And I'm aiming to do that because I think urban fantasy is usually quite fast paced, and I'm hoping that that rings true with this book. It's also a book that I just want to be part of the fandom for, so cross your fingers because I really, really want to enjoy this one. Not that I start books and then don't want to enjoy them, that seemed a bit counterintuitive. But anyway, I also really want to read the other Jim Butcher books. So The Theories of Calderon is another series by him. I'm adoring The Dresden Files, which is about a wizard detective, but I know that this is about like a fantasy world, just purely fantasy, and I've only read his urban fantasy stuff, so I'm looking forward to jumping into this one. And again, this is also a trade paperback and I don't like these editions, but they are quite cute if you think about it. This one has a little bit smaller writing than the other book does, but I think I can still do it. I know that this kind of encapsulates like a Pokemon or Digimon aspect to having a magical companion creature, and so I'm looking forward to seeing that animal companion trope come through. I'm looking forward to the kinds of magic system in here. I don't know a lot about this one, to be honest, so I will link all the Goodreads stuff down below because I can't really give you a synopsis. I can just kind of show the book to you and like gesture excitedly, and really that's about it. So if you've read this, let me know what you rated it. Please don't spoil me, but just tell me if you enjoyed it or not. I'd be interested to find out. Now this next one, I think I've been putting it off for a very long time. It's been recommended to me by my best friend years ago, and she was the first one to recommend The Name of the Wind to me, and that's one of my favorite books ever. So The Vor needs to really be read ASAP. I've put this off and put this off. It's a trilogy, so if I start this, I've got 2 more books ahead of it if I really like it, but I don't know anything about this beyond that it's set in a rainforest and it has a cool inside jacket, and that's it. So I think it's going to be a very atmospheric fantasy. It's been on a few TBR lists in the past and I just have not got to it, unfortunately, so this is the year. Hear me now, this is the year. And this is a very underhyped fantasy book. I have not seen anyone talk about it at all. So if you've read it, let me know, but I don't think anyone really has, or if they have, they've kind of like glanced at it on the bookshelf at the shops and then not really paid much attention to it, because I genuinely feel like this is the most underhyped fantasy I have ever owned. And now to pull another one off my shelf that is just staring at me in the background in shame is The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. This is a book series that I think is at least a quartet, if not longer, and they are all quite chunky, so no pressure, but I do really want to read this, and I know that it's quite a complicated series. It's got multiple perspectives, it's got queer characters. I'm just keen because queer characters in fantasy, when they're done well, are amazing, and so I want to read this for those characters because I haven't seen a lot of queer characters written in fantasy, and I just want to experience that. So this just says, when destiny calls, there's no fighting back. So there's a bard's apprentice, there is royalty, and there's an immortal heir that's been a lost son. There's dragons and demons and gods. It sounds like it will be freaking awesome, so I hope that I really connect with it. I've heard that it's hard to get into because it's so complicated, and so I'm not listening to the audiobook because I think I'll get a bit lost, because when I listen to audiobooks, names just like fall out of my head. So I think this is going to be quite important when it comes to names, so I need to remember them and I need to read them physically. So ultimately that's what I'm gonna do. Cross your fingers because I really, really want to find this one as a new favorite. Let's hope it is. And then the last one that I've got here is actually a sci-fi book, and this was recommended to me by my partner because he saw it on Reddit. Beyond that, I don't know anything. It's The City of Stairs, and the blurb sounds awesome. The first line, at least, I haven't read further than that. It says, "You've got to be careful when you're chasing a murderer through Belikov." Don't know what Belikov is. I imagine it's a fictional place. I hope this is really fast paced and awesome, and I just want to read more sci-fi, and I think this is a great way to do it. So if you've got sci-fi books, recommend them to me because I'm eager to continue in more sci-fi series. Not that I need to start more series necessarily, but if it's sci-fi, I'll give it a look. So that is it for my I want to start these series in 2022 list. Let me know if you want to start series in particular. I'd be really interested to find out and see if I've read them as well or not, or if I need to add them to my TBR. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll contact you down below in the comments, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.